Three Wise Animals, written and illustrated by Yehudith Freeman Tucker, read by the author. For Pixie, the little dog who showed me the way. There are many ways for humans to see the world. They can travel by car, or by airplane, or by ship. Animals, on the other hand, when they want to visit distant lands, they must go by ship. The Isma was a great big seagoing ship bound for the Mediterranean coast. She had several decks for traveling animals to ride in. They were mostly looking for work as seasonal laborers in the olive orchards of the East. There happened to be 3 animals aboard the Isma that were not looking for work. These 3 were traveling for a different reason. They had each decided to go on a spiritual journey, which is also called a Hajj, an Aliyah, or a pilgrimage, depending on what language you speak. They were a camel, a goat, and a lamb. They all wanted to see Jerusalem, and they knew that they would be friends. They sat together on the straw and compared maps and travel routes, as backpackers often do. They decided to disembark at Port Said, Egypt, and go across the border into Israel through the Sinai Desert. They would then head north and walk to the City of Peace, which is Jerusalem. Animals do not require passports and can go where they please, so they decided to walk. Land was spotted from the starboard deck, and they each peered out the porthole and saw decorated domes and minarets that seemed to unveil themselves, only to fade back into the mist again. Around the massive Isma, they saw smaller boats with eyes painted on the front, bringing the day's catch to market. The ship made port and then docked. They got their packs and made sure not to leave anything behind. They went to see the captain of the Isma, and the goat said, "Shalom Alechem," and the camel said, "Salam Alekum," and the lamb said to him, "Peace be with you." The captain smiled. A narrow bridge led from the swaying ship to steady land. A narrow bridge led from the swaying ship to steady land. They placed their feet very carefully. Down they went. The perfume air filled their noses. The chatter of many languages filled their ears, and the strange new place welcomed them. The dock was a marketplace that came right up to the sea. The 3 stayed close to one another and made their way through the crowd. A Middle Eastern market is known by some as a shuk and by others as a souk, and still there are some who call it a bazaar. People and animals shouted and bargained over mountains of stacked fresh fruit and vegetables, free samples of which were handed to them with smiles.